Hi y'all, I go by L, and I'm a YouTube, TikTok, and whatever other app there is out there, rabbit hole addict. True crime documentary, I'm an addict when it comes to those, bro. There, I said it. Sometimes I look around, it'd be 2, 3 in the morning, bro, and I'm still traveling down some type of rabbit hole. Anybody else like that? Make yourself known. It's more of us out there, bro. We need help. But let's just keep going. This video here is the 10 strangest YouTube rabbit holes ever. Let's see.
YouTube has become one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world, as it offers entertainment and educational videos for people of all ages. But the site also has its dark and strange side. Some YouTube channels cause people to fall down a rabbit hole thanks to the inexplicable content that they contain. And in some cases, these weird videos have never been explained. Number 10. Olivier de Sagazan is a French artist, sculptor, and performer with a strange and unique way of presenting his work. Many people have fallen down a rabbit hole when visiting his YouTube channel, which contains videos of some of his work and performances. But it's fair to say that his style won't appeal to everyone. De Sagazan gained a thorough understanding of organic life while he worked as a biologist, and one day he got the idea to cover his entire body in clay, since he was curious to see what the resulting shell would look like. This led to him creating one of the most famous performances, which is entitled Transfiguration, a video of which has been uploaded to his YouTube channel. He describes the performance as something that causes him to become a living piece of art. In the video, he's seen covering his body in gray-colored clay, to which he applies black paint, giving his face a grotesque appearance. He then starts manipulating the clay, distorting his face further while applying more paint.
Yeah, I can see how I could get caught down watching this in a rabbit hole watching this, bro. Because I'm drawn to it now. Like, I can't turn my face, as bad as crazy as it looks, I just can't turn away from it. So he's good. He's definitely good.
Before long, his movements become frantic, but every few minutes he covers the clay in water, producing what might be described as a clean canvas. As the video continues, the clay faces grow even more grotesque before he finally rips it off to reveal his face. De Sagazan says the point of this piece is to force him to look at his inner self. He says this represents a renewed meaning to the idea of life and presents an alternative self that is completely unrestrained by inhibition. In another of his videos called The Dictator, De Sagazan takes on a lead role as he sits behind a desk, clearly portraying a dictator with his members of staff and security standing against a wall behind him. He's speaking to someone off camera as the interview commences, and he starts covering his face in clay and paint, causing it to become more distorted and maniacal. He progresses through several different clay faces, each more disturbing than the last, and by the end, he's seemingly completely lost his mind as his staff leaves and he falls down defeated. Another video called A Breakthrough into the Unknown starts with the artist's face already covered in clay, and he starts adding a large leaf to it. Someone can be heard chanting off camera, and De Sagazan is heard making strange grunting noises as he transitions between different faces that he creates by adding paint or drawing his fingers across the clay. Dressed in a suit and tie, he elongates the clay to make it seem as though he has an impossibly long nose, adds 2 more twigs and leaves to the clay, and at one point sets fire to grass that he's stuck onto the clay, but thankfully he isn't hurt. As this happens, the chanting intensifies, and finally he removes the clay to once again reveal his actual face. There's no doubt that these performances are distinctive to his style, and while some people might find them disturbing or hard to watch, others have praised them for being singular and for accurately conveying the message that he's trying to bring across to his audience. Number 9. As technology progresses, ever more devices become prone to hacking. Take, for example, the TVs we use today. Back in the 90s, they were large, bulky machines that served one purpose. But today, we can access the internet, stream shows and movies, and even check out emails using just our TVs. One disconcerting event was shared on Reddit by a user who stated that he was watching YouTube on his smart TV one night, and suddenly the TV's volume changed by itself. And while he admits that this should have sent alarm bells ringing in his mind, he chalked it up to a simple malfunction and didn't think much more of it. But the following night, things would get much stranger. Some of his family members had come to visit him, and they decided to watch a few YouTube videos. Suddenly, he started hearing someone laughing in the background of the video, followed by the letter T flashing onto the screen. But even more disconcertingly, someone said his name out loud from the TV, and he was left baffled, as was his family. He has since changed the password on his router, but this may only serve as a temporary solution. But there is, however, another instance of a similar event that has people even more concerned about their TVs being hacked. One man reported that he was watching YouTube on his smart TV, and his video was interrupted, as they so often are, by an ad. He decided to do what most of us do, which is to simply skip the ad. But as he was about to do so, he noticed that the ad's runtime was 5 hours, which took him by surprise, and he called his father into the room. They decided to keep watching to see if the ad really would run for such a long time. But then something even stranger happened. When his father arrived, the woman in the ad, who'd been speaking to the camera this whole time, seemed to shift her focus to him rather than his son. They felt a little uncomfortable, but reassured each other that it was merely an ad, and they jokingly stated that she was probably watching them.
Hold up. Now, I've heard of them tapping into your routers and different things like that. What do you do for that? I don't know. I don't have the answers right now, bro. But you got to start looking at some things, and I get it when people say now when they unplug things. I totally get that now. I used to criticize, but I apologize. I don't do that no more. What do? You sitting there watching TV and an ad pops up, which they pop up on our platforms, and then it starts following you. We're in that era now of creepy, in that era now of crazy, where somebody could just tap into your home, bro, and violate you like that. How do we combat that? How do you... I wouldn't know what to do, bro. I would be so messed up. That would send me to a state of paranoia that I don't think I can recover from. If that happened to me, bro. Like, I see why people be putting up the newspapers in the windows and walking around with the little tinfoil hats on and don't want you to bring electronic devices in their homes, and they have foil on all kind of different things. I'm starting to see why.
He got even more uncomfortable when the woman suddenly fell silent, simply staring at them through the screen. His father then decided to do a test, and he said the word Changa, and the woman immediately repeated the same word back to him. This was enough to send them both into a panic, and the man grabbed his remote before quickly skipping the ad. It isn't known whether this was the only time that this happened to this man, but users warned him to check his security settings. Many people who read the post stated that they believe it to be a made-up tale, but others aren't so sure, since there have been so many reports of smart TVs being hacked over the years. Number 8. Anyone familiar with YouTube will have seen that every video's URL in the address bar begins with the same words, namely youtube.com/watch. This is then followed by the video's unique URL, which is made up of a series of letters and numbers as well as some other characters. But not many people are aware that when the watch section of the URL is altered, it can lead to some very disconcerting results, as was evidenced in a post made by a Redditor in 2022. They stated that they were watching some random YouTube video when they remembered someone telling them to see what would happen if they were to remove the H from the word watch in the URL. Maybe out of boredom, he decided to give it a try, and they were shocked by what happened next. It took them to a different YouTube video called 666, which was uploaded by a user named Nana825763. The channel is considered to be a horror channel, though many of the videos are thought to be art projects and the like. They also upload videos of their Minecraft gameplay from time to time. But the video in question has left people feeling disconcerted, since it shows what looks like 4 dolls, one on each side of the screen, moving in an almost pulsating way against the background of purple and red objects that look like flowers. This same clip is looped over and over again, which isn't all that scary, but YouTube users were intrigued by this experiment, and one man, a YouTuber called Some Ordinary Gamers, decided to do a few experiments on his own. In a video that he uploaded to his channel, he first tests the theory and finds that it does indeed work. He then decides to remove other letters from the URL of a random ASMR video, First, deleting the C from watch in the URL before hitting enter. This has the exact same result, as he's taken back to that same creepy video on the same channel. Next, he removes the T, and he's taken to a page that informs him that an error has occurred, and he should try searching for something else instead. For his next effort, he removes the A from the same word, and this time the result is different. He's taken to a video posted by a channel called 69, which has 16,000 subscribers. But the video has no title, and where it should be, there's merely a blank space. The video is nothing strange or sinister, since it's just another Minecraft gameplay video. Last, he removes the W from the URL, and again he was directed to an error page. This has left many people wondering why users are redirected to these specific videos.
It's gotta be an alternate reason that we don't know as well. Like, not only are you seeing different videos and stuff, but I don't know what's happening. This could cause your home to get your routers to get tapped into. They may put you on a list. You don't know what they could be, what type of data they could be collecting from you in the background while you think you just watching a video, bro. I don't suggest anybody do this, man. This just has one of those weird feelings about where I'm like, and I know that ain't gonna do nothing but intensify the want of people to go check it out. You know what I mean? It's gonna intensify the want for people to go check it out. And I'm just strongly suggesting you don't do that, bro, because these days, you don't know what type of list you may end up on.
And in most cases to Nana825763's strange upload. As soon as people learned about this strange glitch, they tried it for themselves, and all had the same result, leading to some very interesting theories. Some people think that when these letters are removed from the URL, YouTube is unable to process it properly, and so it attempts to open a channel named WATC, with the H missing. Since YouTube's channel URLs are customizable, it's thought that Nana825763 used that word in their channel's URL, and so YouTube will direct anyone who removes the H to that specific channel. Number 7. Portishead is a trip-hop rock band that hails from Bristol in England. They were responsible for bringing this genre of music to North America when they released their debut album called Dummy in 1994. Since then, the band has grown in stature as they managed to blur the lines between genres of music, ensuring that they appeal to a much wider audience than most bands. While they're no longer together, they have reunited for a few live shows in the past, and have stated that they are not officially broken up. Portishead has posted some of their songs and music videos to the YouTube channel, the most popular being the video for their song Glory Box, which has been viewed more than 42 million times. This is followed in popularity by the video for The Rip, which has 15 million views. But their third most watched video, called Only You, has garnered a lot of attention thanks to its comment section and a YouTube user called Do What. At the time when people started noticing this user's bizarre behavior, they had 3 subscribers to their channel, but the channel seems to have been deactivated since. The rabbit hole concerning Do What started when someone noticed that he had left several comments on Portishead's Only You video, and that it seemed nonsensical and sometimes concerning. As an example, some of the comments he made included, "Try all games for free, I think," and I don't really know what all that is. I prefer the 1600s or whatever. These comments sound like they came from someone who's heavily intoxicated or playing a prank, but they then started to get darker and more worrying. One comment read, "Power of what? It doesn't matter if I'm not getting any of it. Yeah, power to make me mad and wish destruction on all of you who woulda, shoulda, didn't." They then suggest that whoever it's referring to only regretted their actions after having their lives ended by him. This isn't uncommon in YouTube's comment section, since some people leave nonsensical comments on purpose as a joke. But Do What was still leaving comments on this video months later. And strangely, none of them seem to be addressing anyone specific or the video itself. Soon, his comments totaled in the hundreds, and people started trying to interact with him by replying to his eerie ravings. He would reply sometimes, but again, didn't address the comments directly, and at one point, he left at least one comment every day for 6 months. In some instances, he would leave a comment and then reply to his own comment the next day. Some users noticed that Do What is connected to 2 other YouTube accounts, but these also offered no answers. Some people have speculated that Do What uses the YouTube comment section to communicate with an unknown person. But since none of these comments are in any way secretive, this theory seems nonsensical. It's also been suggested that Do What is merely looking for attention by being as weird and mysterious as possible. But this has obviously not been proven in any way. Number 6. The last place you would expect to find a cult is on YouTube. But many people feel that a channel called Blood Over Intent is just that, since it contains some very bizarre and disconcerting videos that have left people baffled. A Reddit user once posted that he found this strange channel on YouTube. He explained that it reminded him of a cult and that the videos on the channel were bizarre since they contained video and audio that was uploaded backward and then it had to be reversed to reveal the actual message. As an example, they linked to a video of a man talking to his camera, but the audio is reversed, and when they played it backward, it reveals a message in which he calls the viewers stupid, adding that Jesus is the sun above their heads, and it ends with the words Matrix. But soon after discovering this channel, he found another on which the same people were commenting on a regular basis. Most of these comments included the word blood, usually in the context of the popular saying, blood is thicker than water. It seemed that these commenters were in a conversation that no one else was privy to. When more people became aware of the channel thanks to the Reddit post, they started digging a little deeper into the mystery, and before long, people started suggesting that the group had a satanic element to it. Some comments included phrases like "thank you, Satan," or made reference to the devil in some way, leading many people concerned that this really was a cult operating out in the open on YouTube. Some people suggested that these comments were types of rituals that were being performed between the two channels, prompting even more Reddit users to start investigating. That's when the startling discovery was made that this group didn't consist of just 2 YouTube channels, but possibly thousands. Each of these channels was connected to hundreds more that uploaded similar content. In the channels list of each of these, hundreds more could be found, and before long, the number totaled too many to keep track of. One thing linked all these channels to each other, which is a ritual called Blood Over Intent. One example of this is a video in which a man can be seen holding a piece of paper with a photo of a wooded area and the words "I intend to release everyone from bondage of time and money" written on it. He states that only the people who are a part of this group will one day have a divine purpose. He then states that he has a spiritual currency running through his veins before pricking his finger and spreading biological material over the written words while he reads them out loud.
See, at this point, y'all go outside and play. Ain't that what our parents used to tell us? Go outside and play. Put the YouTube down, put the TikTok down, go outside, find a hobby, go fishing, chop wood, whatever. Go do something else, bro. Because this is easy to get caught up in. And sometimes you don't even know you caught up in it until you too late. You thinking you just watching some weird stuff. It caught your attention. It's intriguing. You fall down a rabbit hole. You start commenting. People start commenting too. Y'all start developing like a online like type of friendship. And then it leads somewhere. Now you're in this and you don't know how to get out of it. Go outside and play, bro. Just leave some of this stuff alone, man. That's why at the beginning I told y'all I'm an addict and I gotta shake some of this stuff off.
Many more of these videos exist, and most people believe this is a demonstration of a type of magic. The words written on the paper serve as a sigil, which serves as a notice of intent. The pages are then burned, which is supposed to set the spell into motion. People who were looking into this mystery found that many of these spells called for heaven to be brought forth onto earth so that everyone could benefit from it. The sigil is seen as a type of sacrifice, making it more likely for the spell to work. It's thought that a man named Mark Braun is the leader of this group, since he uploaded the first of these videos in 2013. He has since made claims that he is Satan himself, although he did this under the username Quasi-Luminous. He also claims to have read the Book of Life, and that the only way anyone can get their name added to the list in the book is to perform this ritual. According to him, anyone who doesn't do this will be doomed forever. Number 5. If you were to Google the phrase Intelsat 708, you would find many different types of search results, including information on an accident involving this rocket, conspiracy theories, and a YouTube rabbit hole that has left people baffled. Intelsat 708 was a communications satellite that was built by Space Systems Laurel, an American manufacturing company. It was slated for launch on the 15th of February, 1996, from the Satellite Launch Center in China, but ended in disaster. As soon as the rocket was launched, its trajectory failed and it crashed to Earth, causing massive amounts of damage and ending the lives of at least 6 people. It was found that there was an error in the rocket's guidance system, and an investigation ensued. It was soon discovered that soon after the crash, members of the Chinese military attended the crash site and would not allow any members of the public anywhere near it. Western media outlets also found that the estimated damage caused and lives lost were grossly underreported by the Chinese government in an apparent cover-up, though this has been disputed. In the days that followed, people in the area started complaining of symptoms that included bulging eyes and severe headaches, with many having to be taken to hospitals for medical treatment such as oxygen therapy. The launch was an unmitigated disaster and caused China some embarrassment, since its government had allegedly been caught in a lie. But footage of the crash made its way online in the form of a YouTube video that has shocked a lot of people. Not because of the crash footage alone, but because of what can be seen when this footage ends. The video shows the rocket launching before immediately veering off course and crashing a few miles away. It then shows the devastation that was caused by the crash, including buildings that were destroyed, roads that were now impassable, and members of the military scouring the area for important rocket components that needed to be recovered quickly. The last scene in the video shows a round building that was damaged by the crash before it fades to black. But the video doesn't end there. Bafflingly, a woman then appears on screen, and to the accompaniment of jolly music, she reveals that her name is Janet Ship. She adds that she's been ordered to prepare you for your trip to China. And she says that she'll be doing this via a multiple choice quiz, and reminds the viewer that there's only one correct answer to each question. What follows is a quiz that leaves most people confused, since they're unable to figure out whether it's meant as satire or to be taken seriously. For the first question, a black goat is shown on screen, with the question, "This is a picture of," and the options are A, a creature found in nearby hills, B, dinner, or C, a Hughes technician. No answer is given, and instead Janet jumps right to the next question. This time, the video shows a group of men playing horseshoes, and the question asks how long it will take them to score a point. The options to choose from are given as A, 30 to 40 minutes, B, when Mabuhay is ready to launch, or C, the next leap year. This continues for several minutes, with each answer being as nonsensical as the last, and as the video comes to an end, no answers have been provided. Janet signs off and wishes the viewer the best of luck with their trip to China, adding that the answers should be handed in to the viewer's supervisor. People who have viewed this video have speculated that this was made in jest, which would be in very poor taste, or it's just the world's worst training video. Whatever the case may be, this part of the video has never been explained, and its true purpose remains unknown. Number 4. Entering the number 333.333.333 into YouTube's search box will result in a slew of thumbnails, each more eerie than the last. And they lead to videos that some people are unable to watch, given their strange and often gruesome nature. One of these videos, uploaded by a user called Every Curse Lived, begins with the image of someone dressed in a duck costume, which has what looks like biological material spilled onto its face. The figure merely stares into the camera, followed by brief snippets showing the person inside the costume with their eyes bulging, in the midst of something akin to a primal scream. This plays on a loop until the figure can be seen staring at the camera once more, and the video comes to an end. The next disconcerting clip is shot in black and white, showing what appears to be a man in some distress as he's seated in a chair with his mouth wide open. Biological material can be seen in his mouth, and he rocks back and forth, which has made many people feel uncomfortable. But they're relieved to learn that this is a short clip from the 1989 movie Begotten, and that the figure is supposed to represent Mother Nature. Next is a video uploaded by the user McLucasInsane. It jumps between disconcerting screens, including that of someone dressed in a scary white mask, evilly smiling at the camera. It then shows a man levitating off of his bed while asleep, and a disembodied eye blinking over and over again before the clip ends.
Yo, wait a minute. Do y'all know what this reminds me of? You ever see those movies and a part of the movie they'll have somebody tied to a chair and they'll have him in a room and they have a TV in front of them and they just showing them all kind of weird stuff, trying to get them to break or crack or break down or go crazy or something like that. These look like the videos, bro, that they would use. That's what this, y'all know exactly that's what this reminds me of. Somebody in a room, tied up, and they showing them videos like this, waiting on them to crack or go crazy. Like, bro.
Another includes creepy audio that's often used in these types of videos and shows several different faces that have been subjects of creepypastas in the past, such as Jeff the Killer, the "Have you seen this man" face, and other nightmare-inducing images. The last example of these eerie videos, uploaded by a channel called Retirado de la Comunidad Jodedora, begins with a disturbing image of a woman's face. Her eyes are open wide in terror, and this is followed by even more disturbing images of shadow people, strange humanoid creatures in shadow, hellish creatures, and figures that are supposed to be spirits. It remains uncertain why this specific search term is used when these types of videos are uploaded to YouTube, though it has been suggested that the title confuses the YouTube algorithm, preventing the videos from being taken down. Number 3. A YouTube channel called Syriac uploads some strange videos that have caused many people to end up in a rabbit hole, since they find themselves watching video after video thanks to their bizarre nature. In one video called Honk, a white animated goose appears from the bottom of the screen before letting out a honk. Strange upbeat music starts playing, and the goose falls from the bottom of the screen, jumps back up, and then starts walking to the side, all the while watching the camera. It then starts dancing, causing its neck to twist around, but it then spins its head around to correct it. The dances become ever more bizarre, and at one point it lays an egg, which is then swallowed before another goose emerges from its beak. This is followed by a goose being born from an egg, but instead of arms and legs, it has more goose necks and heads, which it uses to continue dancing. In the end, the goose swallows itself and turns into an egg. In a video called Circle World, teddy bears are seen dancing, using watering cans, and making popcorn out of other teddy bears, but before long it devolves into a bizarre cityscape with bending buildings, some of which have turned into giant robots. The scene then changes to a landscape filled with a cross before sheep and spiders, hills that move, and spider webs that are used by the sheep as wool. This gives way to a scene in which a teddy bear is seemingly conducting experiments on some unknown creature, and these scenes then loop over and over again. The uploader explains that he got the idea for this video, called 7 billion, when he learned that there are 7 billion people on Earth, and he wanted to know what 7 billion of an item would look like. The video shows a rabbit hopping around in a field with serene music playing in the background. It's then seen bouncing up and down on a mushroom and lying in the field before the music suddenly changes, and the rabbit becomes 2, then 3, and so forth. Whenever a new rabbit is spawned, it opens its mouth from where another rabbit appears. The imagery only gets stranger from there, as the rabbits jump on each other's shoulders to create 2 massive rabbits that then also multiply, seemingly indefinitely. The uploader added that they aren't sure whether they were able to create 7 billion rabbits, since they stopped counting at one point. These videos seem to be art projects that were created merely for entertainment, but nonetheless they've left many people feeling creeped out, thanks to the strange imagery that's combined with upbeat music. Number 2. The mystery concerning a YouTube channel.
And then stuff like that be making me think it has like some type of subliminal message in it. That's what I be feeling like. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to see it. I don't know if it'll put you in some type of trance or something, or under some type of hypnosis or something. That's what I be thinking, looking at stuff like that. If you're weirded out by stuff like that, you should be. That's normal. Like, I don't want nothing tapping into my brain, bro. No. That takes me back to, what was that, Batman with Riddler, when they had the things and it was on their heads and they was just sitting there staring and they pretty much turned into zombies. That's what I feel like. That's watching stuff like that for too long could possibly turn you into a zombie.
Called 00390 started in 2015 when people started noticing that it contained some very strange and worrying videos. Some have speculated that this is an ARG channel, while others are convinced that it points to something far more sinister. And since then, thousands of people have attempted to unravel the mystery with very little success. Just as disconcerting is the channel's description, which reads, "Do not subscribe, you bother me. Do not offer me money for affiliation or visualization or other. I'm not interested. At best, offer me some typical food of your country." The same sentences are repeated in Italian, giving us some idea of where the uploader may be from. and this is confirmed further down in the description. The videos have innocuous titles such as Chris, 045, Aviana, and a few others that have Italian titles. As an example, the video called 045 shows a woman sitting in a chair that she's been tied to. It's accompanied by eerie music, but nothing else happens. The video called Chris starts with images of Donald Trump before cutting to a snow-covered hut. A boy called Chris can be seen shoveling snow while his father talks to him, telling him to do it slowly and carefully so that he doesn't wear himself out in 5 minutes. The boy agrees, but instead decides to make a snow angel on the ground. But some of the videos are far more concerning. One shows a dark-haired woman in a crowded area, followed by the image of a dark-haired doll that's hanging upside down against a background containing strange red writing. Another shows someone driving around a city street at night while filming out the window. But the description leads one to believe that the uploader is engaging in window shopping. Soon, the video shows several street workers, leading some to believe that the uploader is looking for a victim to kidnap. The strangeness doesn't end there, though, as another of his videos is entitled How to Transport a Semi-Unconscious Girl, and in the clip, a man can be seen carrying a seemingly unconscious woman around a room. Luckily, eagle-eyed viewers were able to spot that the woman was merely acting, and this wasn't an actual kidnapping. One YouTuber decided to look into the videos more closely, and found that much of the footage contains old photos that were published on the internet long ago, as well as clips from other people's videos. Before long, the channel was being discussed on Reddit, and after some investigation, it was revealed that the uploader lives somewhere in Milan, Italy. He's also found to be working in the modeling industry, since one of the videos contains footage from a modeling shoot that had just been completed. The YouTuber states that he thinks this is indeed an ARG channel, and that the uploader's claims of being a kidnapper are made purely to get a reaction out of his viewers. While this seems to be the most likely explanation, many other people have expressed concerns that the videos could be real, and the kidnapper may be operating in the Milan area and then uploading these videos to their channel. Number 1. The last time that a video was uploaded to a channel called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared was 2 years ago, but it's still being spoken about due to the weird videos that it contains.
Apparently, a lot of people have watched this channel. One video on here got 29 million views. Another one got 27 million views. So a lot of y'all have seen this already.
Many of which don't seem to make much sense. It's since been revealed that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared was a comedy horror web series created by Becky Sloan and Joe Pelling. But the strange contents of the videos on their YouTube channel have left many people feeling uncomfortable. One video entitled Help starts with a red and white puppet reading from a piece of paper, while another much scarier looking puppet holds a hammer over the first's head. The first reads the following: "If you're watching this, then we need your help." Suddenly, the more ominous puppet seems to yell at first, though the noise that it produces sounds more like a growl. The imagery then changes to show someone running out of a darkened room, and when they shut the door, everything goes black, signaling the end of the video. In another called Bad Things That Could Happen, 2 people dressed in white sheets from head to toe are seen holding up a large piece of paper with the title at the top, though it's translucent and barely visible. The scene then cuts to what looks like cardboard cutouts of a pack of cigarettes, an ashtray, and a box of matches. At the 2 people's feet is an oversized plate containing half a slice of cheese, and next to that is a cardboard egg with a crack in its shell. The video is filled with similar strange imagery, such as a mousetrap, a hammer that's being nailed into a wall, a piece of candy being eaten by a set of dentures, a mouse being caught in a mousetrap, and a fly buzzing around the room. But then everything gets a little more chaotic. The egg hatches, teeth fall out of the set of dentures, the mouth meets its end thanks to the trap, and water starts spurting out of the wall, thanks to the nail that's been driven into it. And the cigarette, which has now been lit, causes a fire. It should be noted that all the objects and characters are played by people in costume, including the mouse, wall, and dentures. Lastly, the video that shares a name with the actual channel, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, devolves into complete madness. It starts with what could be mistaken for a kids' TV show with 3 puppets, one of which is a crow sitting around a kitchen table. A notebook on the table starts singing a song about being creative. The puppets soon cotton on to the idea of creative thinking, such as a cloud that looks like a frog or a ladder. One of the puppets paints a picture of a clown, and this is when things get strange. A black substance oozes onto the picture, and everything falls silent. The sky outside turns dark and lightning starts to flash. The puppets start dancing frantically as one of them paints the word death onto a piece of cardboard. Something that looks like a piece of meat scuttles into a mouse hole in the wall, and the piece of cardboard now has skulls painted onto it. In the end, the puppets agree to never be creative again. The notebook falls over and shuts, bringing the video to an end amidst the sound of a saxophone being played very badly as false notes ring out.